The following content has been generated with artificial intelligence under minimal human supervision. The data presented may contain errors or inaccuracies. The opinions expressed in this content do not necessarily reflect the vision, position, or values of DigiAll. We recommend verifying critical information with additional sources before making decisions based on this content.
Welcome to DigiAll Tech News. Today is Sunday, May 24th, 2026. I'm Kylie Brooks, and this is where technology becomes clear and engaging. DeepSeek is making its 75% price cut on the flagship V4 Pro model permanent, turning AI pricing into a hardware supply story. Google is rebuilding search for longer questions, images, files, and on-page AI answers as user behavior shifts across the web. Microsoft's new responsible tech chief is trying to make fast AI development more human, from disability representation to privacy and safety. At Cannes, filmmakers are drawing the line between AI as a cinematic tool and AI as a threat to human artistry. New job market data and expert advice point to the same lesson. AI, risk is really task risk. Let's start with DeepSeek, because this is not just a cheaper model headline. The Chinese AI startup says API costs for V4 Pro will stay at 1/4 of the original level, with rates ranging from 0.025 to 6 yuan per million tokens, or roughly $0.0035 to 83 cents. DeepSeek launched V4 last month and had priced the Pro version as much as 12 times higher than its lighter flash model, citing scarce high-end compute. Here's the key tension. The company had previously said prices could drop when Huawei Ascend 950 supernodes scaled in large volumes later this year, but this announcement does not confirm that chip supply has actually improved. So the move raises a practical question for developers and rivals. Is this a durable efficiency breakthrough, or an aggressive pricing bet made while China's AI supply chain is still squeezed by export controls and chip-making equipment limits? Google's search changes are a window into how the internet is being reorganized. The company is expanding the search box so people can ask longer questions, bring in photos, files, and browser tabs, and get custom visuals, interactive graphics, or mini-apps generated directly on the results page. Robbie Stein, Google's vice president of product, says, AI mode queries have more than doubled every quarter since launch and average 3 times the length of standard searches, while visual searches are up 60% year over year. SEMrush also sees conversational queries rising from 5% to 20%, even though the median search is still just 3 words. That matters because search, social, and shopping are converging. AI-driven traffic to US retail sites jumped 393% in the first quarter of 2026, and retailers are building around tools like Google's Universal Shopping Cart and Amazon's Rufus and Alexa integrations. The trade-off is familiar but sharper now. Users may get faster answers, while publishers, creators, and retailers have to work harder to prove why a human-made page, product, or voice deserves the click. Easy. Now, this is where responsible AI becomes less abstract. Jenny Lay-Fleury took over Microsoft's trusted technology group in February after 21 years at the company, and she describes the job with 2 questions. How do we build it right, and how do we make sure it stays right? Microsoft's centralized accessibility, digital safety, human rights, responsible AI, privacy, supply chain integrity, and societal benefit in that group in early 2025. A concrete example is the company's response to AI-generated images that depicted blind people wearing full blindfolds. Microsoft bought more than 20 million minutes of multimodal video data from Be My Eyes, anonymized faces, and retrained models to better represent blindness, canes, and guide dogs. The bigger issue is governance under pressure. The Trump administration's March 20th National AI Framework emphasizes winning the race, while Microsoft is also coming off 15,000 job cuts in 2025 and hiring elsewhere for AI work. Lay-Fleury's model is basically speed plus feedback loops, but outside experts are pushing for something deeper too. Metadata choices can encode bias, and disabled people need seats at the decision-making table, not just consultation after the product is built. Cannes made the creative split unusually visible. Darren Aronofsky partnered his Primordial Soup studio with Google DeepMind and premiered the AI-assisted short Goodnight Lambie, arguing that AI can solve practical production problems, like avoiding real newborns on set by digitally transforming props. Steven Soderbergh's documentary John Lennon: The Last Interview used AI for about 10% of its imagery in stylized surreal sequences, framed as a transparent cousin of VFX, or CGI, and Chuck Russell used a yacht event to unveil 2 AI-driven sci-fi features through neumorphic AI. But the pushback was just as blunt. Guillermo del Toro said he would rather die than use AI. Seth Rogen dismissed AI screenwriting as unfit for real writers, and Demi Moore said the technology is here while still insisting it cannot replace human soul and spirit. In practical terms, the film industry is not debating a single tool. It is debating consent, transparency, labor, originality, and whether cost savings change who gets to make movies or who gets replaced while they are made. If you're asking how to protect your job, the most useful starting point is not your job title, it's your task list. Goldman Sachs estimates AI has already reduced US monthly payroll growth by roughly 16,000 jobs over the past year, with cognitive professions like software engineering, finance, accounting, and law especially exposed because many tasks are predictable and repeatable. Experts interviewed by CNN point to work like expense report processing, measurement, audits, and compliance as easier targets than trust-building sales, client relationships, physical presence roles, or genuinely original creative direction. The practical advice is to audit your own work, identify what an AI system could do at speed, and then learn to use chatbots and autonomous agents to build tools around specific tasks. I think the healthy version of that advice is neither panic nor denial. Dario Amodei notes that even in coding, humans still matter for editing and review, but the people who understand how AI changes their workflow will be in a stronger position than the people waiting for the old workflow to come back. Today's through line is pressure. AI is pressuring model prices, search traffic, corporate safeguards, creative labor, and individual careers all at once. The clearest response is not blind acceleration or blanket rejection. It is measuring where the technology actually helps, where it shifts power, and where people still need to be in the loop. Thank you for staying informed with Digital Tech News. We'll be back with more updates as they develop.